Hello everybody. So today we have a special guest, Mr. Charles Tascherau for Canada Lithium, who's coming for a third time. You know, this company is a company that have survived a lot of challenges. After their flawed resources estimate, the company has been able to put that chapter behind, is moving ahead, and this year, this company is intended to begin production. As you see here for the graph, the company made a rise, went from $2 after it made a sudden fall with at 76 cents approximately. Right now it is just stabilizing, but still worth to watch because technically speaking, it is in a nice technical formation, and in another breakout could be a good opportunity for swing trading. So that said, technically speaking, let's welcome Mr. Charles Tascherau. So Mr. Charles Tascherau, thank you for passing by.
Thanks very much. Thanks for receiving me.
Yeah, so Mr. Charles Tascherau, let's give our viewers a sneak back what happened earlier before. So resources were flawed earlier. You engaged another company, AMC. Right now, you've been able to come up with 29 million in resources estimate on your project.
Yeah, it was reviewed even later, by the end of last year. So we're talking about 33 resource. I think the thing that's important is we're really developing a project on 15 years, which requires about 17, 18 million tons. So what we had before was about 3 times what we needed. Now we're about at 2 times for a 15 years project. And in the future, we know there's much more potential. The ore body is huge, and we'll do some more drilling to confirm additional resource and reserve. But for now, the focus is really on developing the project. It's producing 20,000 tons per year of lithium carbonate, which will be about 12% of the world market, and with a mine life of at least 15 years to start with.
So what if I understand what you just said is that the new technical report that was published in the last 6 months by AMC confirms that the 33 million that you have are exploitable or proven reserves,
exactly.
right?
But that's resource, and we have about 18 million tons of reserve with the current model.
So reserves are the ones that you're able
reserves
to
you can mine it. Resources is there geologically, and reserve, but you can mine it economically.
I understand, right. So as the business plan kind of changed in terms of the time spent that you had before?
If you look what we're talking about a year and a half ago, it's still the same project, 15 years mine life, 20,000 tons per year production, and about $200 million to construct it and to be in production, commissioning production at the end of 2012. So that didn't change. Even if various issues, we always kept straight ahead with that, and that's still what we're doing. So right now, all the financing is completed, so through equity and through a bank loan from Scotia with some backing from the Quebec government on a guarantee on a part of the loan. And so we have all that. We have all the money now for the construction, plus 30 million for the first 6 months of operation. So we're sure that we can cover all the needs until we're in full productions and everything going well. So construction is ongoing, so all the civil works are completed on site. The major equipment, all the equipment is ordered, all the major equipment is arriving and will be installed as it arrives. So everything is going very, very well to go as planned for the being commissioning at the end of the year and commercial production early 2013.
Excellent. So actually, what is your current cash burn rate? Because 30 million that you said, is it like for the one year only as a reserve?
That's no, it's about let's say for the construction, but we're spending the 200 million on about 18 months. So we're spending about 10 million a month, or roughly more or less, and that's about what it is right now. And the 30 million, let's say operating costs will be about 60 million per year, total costs. Most of them are variable, more power and consumables and regions, of course, labor and all that. It will be about 60 million per year, because our production costs would be about $3,000 per tons of lithium carbonate.
And how much does a lithium sell for?
It sells right now on the spot price about 6,200, 6,300.
So make a nice margin.
Interesting margin. So with 30 million, pretty much of 6 months of operating costs. So it gives us plenty of time for ramp up and all that. But our technology is a proven technology. Basically, it's pretty much the same process that was used on the same site with the same ore in the 50s and 60s. So we know it's proven technology. There's nothing risky. It's just a matter to get everything running at full capacity as quickly as possible.
So in terms of operations, because you have the power plant, like electricity, water, what an infrastructure environment there?
We have a very, very good location. We're in Abitibi. We're midway between Amos and Val-d'Or, 2 fair-sized towns. So there's a big pool of population with people with mining experience, because Val-d'Or area and all Abitibi has been mining area for over 100 years. So we have also all the suppliers of equipment and parts. You have all the contractors specialized in mining work. So we have all that very nearby. So road access was there already up to site. There is power line at 500 meters from the plant site. There is plenty of water, so labor is available, and everybody goes back every night, so there's no camp, there's no fly in, fly out, nothing like that.
Okay.
There's rail siding at 15 kilometers in by road to bring to the port of Montreal or to bring to the port of Vancouver.
So you expect to use the railroad to export to the
What will be
port?
exported to Asia, yeah, will be going to by railroad up to Vancouver and then sea freight up to a final destination, China, or Korea, or Japan.
Okay, excellent. So you have accumulated all the money necessary for the plan. So with the remaining funds, do you expect to continue to explore that with the 30 million?
We're not doing exploration right now. Actually, we're more looking right now to develop further the process, because what we'll be producing will be lithium carbonate. Lithium carbonate is used by about more or less about 80% of the battery producers right now.
Okay.
But there's the various technology, all using lithium, but different kinds of lithium and with different alloys with other metals.
Okay.
And one very promising is lithium metal. Both for some batteries, they do lithium polymer batteries, like the latest iPad, that's what it's using.
Okay.
And company Batium here in the south of Montreal also, that's what they're using. And also lithium is used more and more in alloys with aluminum and other metals because it's very light, it's very flexible, and it uses a lot in aeronautics for airplanes. So Airbus is using it, but now Bombardier is starting to use it in the new C series. Boeing will use it, so it's a quick increase of demand in lithium metal. So we already started some lab tests to see, okay, what would be the process to transform our lithium into lithium metal and sell it on the market. Because lithium metal, well, like I said, lithium carbonate sells for about 6,000, slightly more than 6,000 a ton, but lithium metal sells for $60,000 a ton. So it's an interesting plus value. That's what we're targeting.
Okay.
And one of the big costs for the transformation is power. And using hydropower in Quebec at very cheap cost compared to most of the world, obviously it's a strong strategic advantage. And it will be a fully integrated site to have all the process from the mine, primary transformation, secondary, and even a tertiary one. So that's what we're looking right now. And if it goes well, we're doing right now lab tests, and we'll be doing piloting after, and potentially next year or the year after build a pilot on site at a bigger scale and go slowly toward the lithium metal.
So if I understand right, you want to build a pilot plant on your site, not being you don't favor the avenue to just have a deal with some major tester, like a big company who just test lithium, to just supply them, or you want to just do it everything yourself?
We want to do it everything on site if it's possible.
Okay.
Obviously, we'll look at various possibilities, but that's.
Are you still having talks with some companies to be able?
Yeah,
to
but we're talking
make
people that
tests?
will be using lithium. For example, Alcoa is looking to build plant to increase the capacity to do lithium aluminum alloys.
Oh,
So obviously they're looking for some, exactly.
Okay.
And there's various potentials like that.
And Investissement Quebec, what was the intention like to just backing you guys? Because strategically, lithium, I don't know if the overall situation of the lithium, is it like considered as a metal that is really in demand right now? Because compared to to a silver or to copper, for example, how do you like grade lithium, and what
the
was
demand
intention?
in lithium is increasing quickly. It more than doubled since 2000. Why? Because it's used in rechargeable batteries. Like for example, all cell phones now, most of them, all the good ones, use lithium batteries. All laptops.
Okay.
Obviously, you have also the hybrid cars, the electric cars. But the electric and hybrid is still very, very small demand. A lot of it right now is cell phones. There's 1 billion cell phones made in the world every year, and most of them are with lithium batteries. So it's not much lithium in each, but it's a lot of them. So increase the demand, so the price obviously is follow. So if we look since 2000, the consumption of lithium in the world about double, and the price about triple.
Okay.
And it's going toward the same direction. All the projections show at least another doubling from now to 2020. And if the hybrid electric cars pick up faster, like it seems to want to be doing, it will be even much more than that. And there's very few producers right now. It's all concentrated in South America, in Chile, Argentina, and in Australia.
Okay.
And we have a big ore body. It's a very pure one. We can do lithium carbonate with a higher content in lithium than all the other consumers with fewer impurities, so which give us also an advantage. And we're very cost competitive also in production cost. So that's what a lot of things that gives us very strong position in that.
Okay. And talking about the fact that you will have a competitive advantage because you're one of the only advanced project in Quebec and one of Canada
in the world.
In the world, which markets are you going to target? Mostly Asian markets or mostly the American markets? Because you talked about.
Well, right now, most of the lithium batteries are done in Asia. So in
Okay.
China, in South Korea, in Japan, close to 90%. So obviously it will be, for now, our bulk market.
Okay.
What we're looking, though, is developing market in Quebec and in North America. For example, there's two companies in the south shore of Montreal here using lithium to do batteries and battery composites. So there's a Batium, which is doing batteries from lithium metal, and there's Fostech, that's doing lithium batteries components. And those technologies they're using, it was in part research done through Hydro-Quebec. Hydro-Quebec still doing a huge amount of research. They have a number of patents on lithium batteries, and governments trying to develop a cluster around lithium and batteries technology, and going toward probably utilization. Like there's a consortium where the government's involved to do electric buses in Quebec, and obviously it will be using lithium batteries done also in Quebec. So we're fitting well with all that cluster, as we'll be producing and supplying the raw materials for all those transformation and those needs. And it's the part why Investissement Québec got involved with us, is because they see the future in the development and synergies with other companies already in place. And if you look in the States, also in the Northeast, you have A123 that just announced recently they were developing new technologies. And obviously it's one of the companies we're talking to. Geographically, there's a strong advantage also.
What's the technology that they develop? Like, are they able to make lithium more efficient, or what's?
That's what they say. I don't have the technical details, but that's what they say, that they can do cheaper and better batteries than the other current technologies. And the A123 is already one of the big American players in the lithium battery.
Because they were the ones also who were involved in the construction of the Vault lithium batteries, and you know, there was some accident that happened with the Vault. There was an explosion with the lithium battery. So there were some critics saying that, is the lithium battery dead? So what's your take on that?
I think there was much ado about nothing on that one. Maybe talk a bit more. Well, the Vault is selling very, very well. They just doubled again their sales recently in the last month. It's going beyond their expectations right now. What happened is when they did the crash test, you know, the regulations organism doing that, it's after the crash test where the Vault performed excellently, very, very well. It's a very, very safe car. But they took the cars that were, anyway, had accidents and everything, and put them literally in a scrap yard, upside down, without discharging the battery that was fully charged, because it probably did about 100 meters to do the test, and left it there, exposed to rain and everything. And after a number of weeks, well, it was probably misconnections or something inside. It was an accidented car and left there with a full battery. It caught fire. Right. So that's it. It's not during the accident. It's not right after. It's weeks after. And the organism doing those tests themselves said that they would never have done that, for example, for a fuel car. They empty the tanks before putting them in the storage yard. So now they change the procedure that they empty the batteries also before doing it. But it's still a very, very safe car, and that's why it's selling very, very well. And one of the advantages of the Vault is you have both a generator, so you can do long distance with it. It still has a fuel motor in it, plus high battery capacity.
Okay, excellent. And so, right now, give us insight about the schedule of Canada Lithium, the deadlines that you have for the calendar. So end of 2012.
End of 2012 will be in commissioning. So we'll be starting production of the plant, and will be commercial production, selling products first quarter of next year, first quarter 2013.
You already have your customers already?
Yeah, there's a lot of people very interested in our product, especially it's a very high quality one. And let's say we'll be in full production later during the year, full capacity of the plant, the full 20,000 tons per year.
And what is the acceptance of the population there? Because I know that recently you made some agreements with some of the First Nations there. Are you going to get them involved in the manpower there, or what's?
Yeah, if we talk about, let's say we're in the mining areas. I mean, mining there, let's say most of the towns in Abitibi exist because they were mining around. So people know about mining, and they know the advantage, and they know potential impacts, so we know what to put in place to make sure there's no impact to the environment. On the case of the First Nation, there are some Algonquin groups that live in the area, and even if there's a lot of mining industry, we're never involved in the mining industry. And now they want to develop the economy and get jobs for their youths and all that. So we discussed together, and we made an agreement to make sure that there is positive economics fall back from the mine also to those groups. So a matter of jobs, matter also to try to develop companies that could be service provider from the First Nation groups, and that's what we're working toward that. And we made, let's say, official signed agreement because they want to encourage also other mining companies to do the same. So we already have 5 people from those First Nation groups working on the construction site, and we hope to push that even further and to develop, like I said, some suppliers. And we already have discussions with the local entrepreneurs and things like that.
So currently you guys have no revenues, right?
No, that's construction.
So when should we expect some revenues? Because you know production is coming at the end of 2012.
Well, it would go with the first commercial production. So let's say so. I would say end of oh no, it will be 2013 definitely. So end of the first quarter, beginning the second quarter, the time that let's say buyers receive the shipment and send the check. But
so if you have, Mr. Tascherau, two reasons for a viewer is looking at your company because you're coming for a third time and is still reluctant to invest in your company, what would you tell him to convince him that, you know what, you should consider Canada Lithium as the next target?
Well, let's say you should look in his pocket. He probably has a cell phone. There's lithium in it, so you cannot tell that lithium is not necessary. And if you look in the world, there's very few existing mines. It's a very small, tight market, and the demand's increasing. The demand's increasing quickly. The demand's increasing faster than what the offer is. There's been very, very little increase of capacity of those current producers, and there's very little known ore bodies around the world where you can produce lithium for. And we're the only one that will be in production very soon. There's other places doing exploration and feasibility studies, but they will still need to go through the financing and the studies and the construction. So after us, there will be nobody else, no other new mine operation before at least 2015, probably 2016 and further.
Okay.
So
you have a competitive edge.
Definitely. High demand, high price. Prices keep going up. So one of the big producers announced that they will increase the price by about $1,000 per ton between now and the end of the year. So it means $7,000 and more per ton of lithium carbonate. Why? Because demand is high.
Even with this Chinese slowdown if there would a slowdown of the Chinese economy, you don't expect some.
Well, that's it. Manufacturing is done a lot in China, but like if you look at cell phones and laptop, there's no strong variations with the economy.
Okay, so you're still bullish on that.
Still bullish.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Tascherau, for coming by. And please don't hesitate to come by for any new improvement in your company.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.